as the intricate brickwork decoration that you can see on the surface. But first, let us say a few things about the history of the building. This mausoleum was actually constructed by the order of the local king, whose name was Ismail. He was considered to be a founder of the local Samanid dynasty. So he ordered the construction of this mausoleum over the grave of his father. Later, in 907, Ismail was also buried there, and it is also believed that his grandson, who was ruling after him, was also buried in the inner part of this mausoleum. So therefore, often we call it as a dynastic burial place or a family burial place for the Samanid dynasty. It was the first local Muslim dynasty. They came to power after the disintegration of the Arabic Caliphate. So once the power in Baghdad weakened, those local dynasties started to emerge. And the Samanids were very, very powerful. They controlled not just the territory of modern Uzbekistan, but also Tajikistan territory of Turkmenistan, northern Afghanistan, and northeastern part of present-day Iran. And the capital of their kingdom was actually located in Bukhara, which at the time became one of the largest centers of Islamic culture, of Islamic science, of Islamic religion in general. It competed with such cities as Baghdad and Damascus. So we can say that in a way, all this development is reflected in the architecture of this beautiful building. Look at it. It's also very balanced and also very harmonic. The shape itself actually is very simple. You have the cube as the base of the structure. The cube is the shape of the building, and it narrows down a little bit towards the top. You can see 4 columns, sort of symbolical columns, in the corners, and then at the top of the building you can see the gallery with 40 openings or 40 windows. The whole building on top is covered by the dome of semi-spherical shape, and there are 4 smaller domes in the corners. Some people say that the shape might actually remind the model of the world, if not of the universe, because the building itself stands for the ground, for the earth, while the dome is a representation of the sky over our heads. The 4 smaller domes in the corners, in turn, represent 4 main directions. This building is important also because it is the first building in Central Asia constructed out of fired brick. Before the 9th century, we did not use fired brick. We mostly used clay, we used a lot of wood, and we used adobe brick. But of course, these materials, as you know, are not strong, they're not durable. So therefore, we have nothing before the 9th century. The introduction of the fired brick here was a big innovation. In the following centuries, brick became the main material, and of course, it gave the masters and the architects new ways of conveying their ideas, in refreshing perspectives. So therefore, of course, in a way, this building can be described as a revolution in the architecture of Central Asia. Most probably, the architects were so impressed with the ability of this new material, they liked brick so much, that they decided to use it not simply as a construction material, but they also applied it widely and for decorative purposes. In fact, look at the building. It's just made out of brick, no tiles here, but still, it looks very elegant. Scholars say that there are 16 different methods of brickwork that are applied in the decoration of this building. I mean, just like when you look at the wall itself, you can see bricks arranged in circles, like for example over the arch. And for example, bricks placed alternately in horizontal and vertical positions, creating a very nice visual effect. It looks like a brick weaving, like basket woven walls. So, and you can see also that the color of the brick in the lower half of the building differs a little bit from the upper half, because the lower half has been restored, while the upper half with much darker color has got the original bricks from the 9th and 10th centuries. What is more, the shape of the building has nothing to do with Islamic architecture. Most of the scholars agree that the shape probably derives from pre-Islamic architectural traditions of this region. Some claim that it might have been inspired by the shape of the Zoroastrian temple, and it's true that temples were constructed in such a shape, while others claim that the shape might actually be connected to Buddhist heritage of Central Asia, connected to the Buddhist stupa shape. And in fact, they furthermore also refer to the square-shaped designs that you can see over the arches and the spandrels, saying that these are actually the variation of the Buddhist mandalas. We don't know for sure which theory is true, but one thing we can agree on is that it's a unique piece of architecture which allows us to have a glimpse into the pre-Islamic heritage of Central Asia. Any questions?
No.
Good. Have a look inside and then continue.